Welcome back. Of course, I'm Adrien, Vice President of Ice Cold Air. People development is my jam. So I sat down to talk about what people development and training is going to look like at Ice Cold Air. Take a look. Hi, my name is Adrien Julius Butler. I'm Vice President of Ice Cold Air. I've been with the company since 2013. So my role is basically HR and marketing. As Vice President, I sit in many seats, but my main focus is on training our people. I grew up in this industry. My granddad had a shop, and my whole life he has been looking for technicians. So I grew up, went into nursing, and I would talk to my grandmother about, because I wasn't working in the company, but I would talk to my grandmother about the issues that Ashley was having. And then in 2013, when we had the opportunity to buy a house, and then we had the opportunity to buy another Ice Cold Air, we bought another Ice Cold Air. And so I would call my grandmother like every day and complain about the lack of technicians. And she would be like, your granddad has been going through that since 1990 something. So I really started deep diving into the technician problem, finding out that there was like a 700,000 shortage back in 2013. It's still around the same numbers. Even with all the shop closures and stuff that happened and during COVID, we're still having this major issue because a lot of people are not going into the industry, and the people that are in the industry that are really experienced, they don't really move. But so I started getting more focused on training and being more structured, and how do we make this feel more like a profession? You have to have these set trainings. It also makes it to where you can bring in people with no experience. So I really figured out that if I had the right people with the right core values, then the customers are going to have the experience that the customers are looking for, because the customers don't want to be beat over the head. They don't want you to make them pay $5,000, even though most people have $5,000 worth of work on their car at all times. A good shop is going to help you plan that, and they're going to let you be in control of that. Figuring out what our training was, what that looks like, we started doing that a little bit when we were franchisees. And then when we talked about becoming franchisors, I was like, this is my chance to create a training program, to find people who love this industry, to find people who are interested in it, to find women who might not even know that we do really well. Our hands are the perfect sizes for some of these spots. And then to really reach out to people who don't get a chance, like second chance people. So that's our big core focus. It's what I've been working on really for the past 2 years. And right now we have a couple of good partnerships going with the city, with other organizations, with some of our suppliers. So we're going to be able to train our people, not only the technicians, but our service staff on the skill set. And then we have been doing life skills and professional development for a while. So there's a whole program that they'll be able to go into that will upskill them and their skills, but also in their life. So I think most people don't realize this, or a lot of business owners don't think about it on this level. But for me, I'm not money focused. I'm not money driven. I'm community driven. I want to make my community better. So it's always been my focus since I started with Ice Cold Air. It was Ashley's focus before I got here, that if you help your employees and you help them, they'll take care of the community. You help the community will take care of the community, and that will take care of the company. I've seen that, so I've been here around long enough to know that that is true, that if you do that, we've had people that have come in and bought their house or got their second house, and we've had employees that have come in and gotten opportunities from us and went on and live amazing careers with the big manufacturers. And all of that goes back to those communities. So it's really about pouring into them so that they can take care of their families and their communities. But also, a little selfish thing that I have is watching where Tampa is going. I've been in some rooms to know different plans for Tampa for a very long time. And if we're gonna be some of these other places that we're trying to be, if you don't take care of the people that are not making money, or the poorer people, or if you push all those people out, then you just end up being that place in 20 years where nobody can work there. So I'm really passionate with my employees, where I try not to be pushy, but like, if you don't have a house or something, what are you gonna do in 5 years? So I try to help them look at that stuff and figure out what their life goal is gonna be, so that in 10 years, we're not struggling with some of those other things that other places have. Part of our interviewing process is asking people how are they engaged in the community, and they don't have to be to work here, but it is a plus if you are on a team or you go to your church or you're part of a soup pantry. We've hired people that were just going in their own cars and passing out stuff to homeless people. If they already care, then that's really good because we do a ton of community give-backs. At Del Mabry, our customers pretty much know if I'm trying to do a lacrosse thing, if I just message them, they're going to help us get the bus or they're going to help us. They'll donate things. So that's what we've been up to for a long time. This is a really big year for us with Toys for Tots, which is our biggest community give back. I've been told personally that we give more toys than the big companies at Ice Cold Air with just our 14 locations. And this is our 20th year doing Toys for Tots. And it's a big year for Toys for Tots as well. So this year we're going to end up with an anniversary party for our 20th year anniversary. Bruce, he's up in Brooksville, so we're going to have this big, huge party for him to wound out our Toys for Tots, and I'm trying to make it crazy. I want to have like a truckload of toys. Well, we already do a truckload, maybe 2 truckloads. You gain a lot being a part of the community. Community is there for you in all the different aspects. I think I knew a little bit about community and building community and what it looks like inside of Ice Cold Air when we were franchisees. But as a franchisor, one of the first things we wanted to do was be more connected. So we have Slack where they're able to talk in there. And just my best days are when somebody has an issue or a problem and they post it and somebody else is answering their question and telling them directly how to get to solve that problem. It solves the problem so much quicker for the customers. They're not struggling in that shop for 3 or 4 days like they probably would have in the past. Because of all the community building we're doing, they know the different people that they can reach out to. There's one technician in St. Pete that I know everybody calls all the time, but he really loves that. He welcomes it. That's what he wants to do, and he wants to train the other technicians. So just watching people get all of the benefits of being a part of that community, because the more you pour into it, the more you receive. So that's the biggest thing. When we have like the storms last year, just sitting back, we had shops that were not bothered at all. Everybody, nothing happened in the areas, and we had shops that had a lot happen in the area. And just watching our people get in their cars and drive to these different locations to help move trees or do whatever it was that they were going to give back to the community, it just lets me know that I'm in the right place because I'm just a community person. My main thing that I would love to get across for anybody is that in any organization, if you want to stick around for a long time, you almost have to be a growth organization. Ashley and I are both very growth focused. We are the kind of people, I'm always going to figure out how to do something. I'll do a ton of research on a CRM before we even try to implement it. It's my first nature. All I know is how to go get the information, and that's how you excel. That's how you win. And so what I want the franchisees to know is that that's what Ice Cold Air is now. And to be a part of this brand, we are the best in AC. That's our specialty. To continue to be that with all the new things that touch AC that have nothing to do, you would think, with the AC, you're gonna have to do the training. You're gonna have to learn to love learning. And so that's the expectation from now on, is that we're gonna have to be the best. We're gonna have to be committed to the learning and upskilling ourselves and our team so that we continue to take care of the customers. That's really just it. I like to say, if you like to solve problems, you'll do amazing in this industry, because all we do is solve problems all the time. Issues are just a thing to be solved, and that's our biggest role. Customers coming in with some kind of issue, some kind of problem, we're gonna solve it. And if you care about people, you'll do really, really well in this industry as well. If you care about making sure that people are taken care of, you'll do great. I would say almost any industry, if you have a passion for learning, that this is a really good industry. And I think one thing that women are always concerned with is like maybe the weight of things lifting out an engine or something like that. We use so much equipment. Ashley has so much equipment. It's interesting that the guys are always borrowing her equipment because clearly they need it. So she has all these lifts and all these things that make her life a lot easier. So there's all this equipment that you can buy, or that the shops are going to have, that are going to do the vast majority of the lifting or the hauling or the pulling or the tugging for you. And also, we're a team. And so there's almost always somebody else around that can hold something for you or tell you how to get to something a little easier. And sometimes they're looking for you with your tiny hands to dig into a space. So I really am serious about more women in this industry. One of the things is people who think, I don't want to come into automotive because it's dirty, or you have this old school thought process of a mechanic in your head. Most of what we hire are actually technicians, and they are using they're using a computer. Computers don't diagnose your car. You need a human being to diagnose the car. But the vast majority of the things, they have to do so much research. So people who love to do research, who are sitting there watching all the YouTube videos anyways, they would do so amazing here. When I first got into the shop, and even now, I think sometimes people will go, oh, Adrien's really good at turning off the oil change lights. And then I had to tell them I was not good at turning off the oil change lights. I was good at going on YouTube and putting in 2016 Pathfinder, how to turn off this light, because they're all different. So if I could do that with absolutely no experience, anybody can do that. One of the barriers to entry is assuming that a certain person has all this knowledge. I have to tell people all the time, they think that men know how to work on cars. I'm hiring a lot of women, so we'll hire new service advisors, and a guy will come in there and be talking to her a certain way. She thinks he knows everything. He doesn't know anything. He's about to go call his wife, and his wife is going to tell him whether they need that repair or not. Women make 80% of the decisions in automotive repair. So just knowing that once you come into the industry and you get the training, you become the authority. You know how to fix the car. And the people that are doing the best are the people that can relay that information in a normal way in plain English to the customer, so they understand what's going on with the car, so that they can make the best decisions. And people who are a little leery when they start, they tend to do better because they're not overconfident. And so they're treating everybody on the same, stand from the same basis, than people who are overconfident, or the people who make it out to be harder than it is, because it is difficult and it is a lot. And sometimes we need to send the customer a video as opposed to explaining something, because some of it is difficult to explain, but it's not rocket science. One of the things that I do as vice president is I see every single customer complaint. I see a lot of customers who are coming to us because they went somewhere else and they had a bad experience. And 9 times out of 10, when they tell me the experience, I know for sure the reason why they had that experience is because most shops have a lot of inexperienced technicians. They might be good at one thing, but they don't know everything, and they're doing these things that they shouldn't be doing. So we don't have governance across the board in automotive. There are some states that require a license, but Florida does not. So in order for us to maintain to continue to be the best, we have to train our staff. We have to have mandates. So the mandates have to come from us. So they have to come from the different owners of the locations to hold our people to a higher standard so that we can solve the customer's issues. I want to make sure that I'm very clear that experience is very important, and it's so valued, especially experience that people are willing to pass down to the younger generations. But automotive is changing every day. They're putting computers in tire wells and this kind of thing. And if you don't continue to learn these kind of things, then eventually the experience can make you obsolete, because you only know what you know and you don't know what you don't know. And that can hurt the technician, the shop, and the company. We are franchised. And so in order for us to maintain a united front, we have to all be on the same page with training. To me, Ice Cold Air means to me family. This is a family-owned company. We've been family-owned pretty much since 1969. There's some years in there where it wasn't family-owned, but we're back to being a family-owned company. My family owns this company, and I'm really excited to see all the different families that we help moving forward in Ice Cold Air.